On June 20th, 1779, the Battle of Stono Ferry took place near Charleston, South Carolina during the American Revolutionary War. A rear guard from a British expedition, withdrawing after a failed effort to capture Charleston, successfully repelled an attack by militia troops commanded by American General Benjamin Lincoln. On June 20th, 1900, the siege of the international legations took place during the Boxer Rebellion, when foreign diplomatic compounds in Peking were besieged by Chinese Boxers and Qing dynasty troops. The Boxers, driven by hostility toward foreigners and Christians, attacked foreign residents and Chinese Christians. As a result, about 900 soldiers, sailors, marines, and civilians from several countries, along with roughly 2,800 Chinese Christians, took shelter in the legation quarter. The Qing government was initially uncertain in its response, but eventually sided with the Boxers after foreign military intervention. The siege continued for 55 days, featuring heavy fighting and a short-lived truce, until an international relief force advanced from the coast defeated Qing troops and broke the siege. The collapse of the siege and the foreign occupation of Peking effectively ended the Boxer Rebellion and led to greater foreign influence and involvement in China. I recommend that you watch the 1963 epic historical war film 55 Days at Peking. The film earned mixed reviews from critics who often criticized its historical inaccuracies and limited character development. However, its performances, direction, musical score, action scenes, and production design received praise. Financially, the movie earned about $10 million at the box office, matching its $10 million production budget. Despite its lukewarm reception and modest earnings, the film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. If you like to watch it, you can watch it on YouTube for free. On June 20th, 1943, the 1943 Detroit race riot took place in Detroit, Michigan, amid a period of dramatic population growth and social tensions associated with the military buildup of United States participation in World War II, as Detroit's automotive industry was converted to the war effort. Growing racial tensions, housing shortages, and competition for jobs increased in Detroit as nearly 400,000 African American and white migrants from the Southeast moved to the city between 1941 to 1943. Conflict intensified when a false rumor claimed that white people had thrown a black mother and her child into the Detroit River. In response, some black residents damaged white-owned property, while groups of white residents attacked black community members and overturned vehicles belonging to black families. The race riot was one of several racial disturbances that occurred across the United States during the summer of 1943. It began on June 20th at Belle Isle Park and spread throughout the city, fueled by false rumors within both of the black and white communities. The violence lasted until June 22nd, when approximately 6,000 federal troops were deployed to restore order. This riot resulted in the deaths of 34 people, 433 injuries, and about $2 million in property damage. Most of the violence occurred in Detroit's Paradise Valley neighborhood. While contemporary investigations often blamed black residents and young people, the NAACP argued that deeper causes included housing shortages, workplace discrimination, underrepresentation of minorities in law enforcement, and police brutality. Later studies found that many white rioters were young and frequently unemployed, whereas black participants were often older, long-term Detroit residents. Both black and white groups engaged in looting and property destruction during the unrest. And 30 years ago, on June 20th, 1996, STS-78 took place when the Space Shuttle Columbia launched on its 20th flight into space with a crew of 7 NASA astronauts. It was also the 5th dedicated Life and Microgravity Spacelab mission for the Space Shuttle program, flown partly in preparation for the International Space Station project. Although the launch proceeded without problems, engineers discovered an issue with the solid rocket boosters after they were recovered and dismantled in June. Investigations revealed concerning damage to the boosters' field joints, likely caused by hot gases passing through them. Unlike the disaster that destroyed the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1986, the damage in this case did not threaten the crew because the gases traveled through engine field joints rather than the captive joints that contained the crucial O-ring seals. Nevertheless, the incident raised concerns about a newly required adhesive and cleaning solution mandated by the Environmental Protection Agency. As a result of the investigation, the mission of Space Shuttle Atlantis, which was scheduled to dock with the Mir space station and bring astronaut Shannon Lucid back to Earth, was postponed. Officials briefly considered returning Lucid aboard a Soyuz spacecraft, but the plan was abandoned because the space shuttle was ultimately judged safe for the mission. The astronauts for STS-78 consist of Commander Terrence T. Henricks on his 4th and final spaceflight, pilot Kevin R. Kriegel on his 2nd spaceflight, Mission Specialist 1 Richard M. Linehan on his 1st spaceflight, Mission Specialist 2 Flight Engineer Susan Helms on her 3rd spaceflight, Mission Specialist 3 Charles E. Brady Jr. on his 1st and last spaceflight, Payload Specialist 1 from France who was born in Kiel, Germany, Jean-Jacques Favier on his 1st and last spaceflight. Favier was due to fly aboard the doomed Columbia mission in 2003 STS-107, but later opted out of the mission. And Payload Specialist 2 from Canada, Robert Thirsk, on his 1st spaceflight as well as his 1st and last space shuttle mission. Well, that's all I have for today. This is my first history milestone video since May 16th, as I was busy trying to find a job somewhere around, and I handed out resumes of mine, and they promised to give me a call once they look through it and hope things work out. If y'all like the video, don't forget to leave a comment down below and subscribe. This is Stephen Luke, and it's good to see you all again, and sorry I haven't been making a lot of history videos lately. So that about wraps it up, and I'll see you all in the next history video.